Hi.
Hey. How's it going?
If you
I
could...
know.
She left me roses by the stairs. Surprises that made no she cares. We're in a mood.
Yeah.
Hello, it's us, the Hopes.
Hello, I'm Sky.
I'm Ver, and we're playing more Phoenix Wright today. We're playing episode 5 of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Rise from the Ashes, day 3, Trial Former.
Shall we jump right in?
I think we shall. It's a nice little weekend. I'm ready to see what Phoenix Wright and all his crazy friends are up to.
What they have to offer. February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court.
So what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time.
Are you Lana also?
Oh, God, that is Lana, isn't it?
Yeah.
I am Lana. The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes.
Lana!
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. God, that was yesterday.
Wow, yesterday was really long, huh?
Yeah, I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
All-nighters? So how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma.
Whoa, like I won't die?
Whoa.
If I do this. But Lana! Don't tell me you...
Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Sky. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Dang, card mention.
Damn.
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
I wish she did that animation she has where she just turns completely around.
Do you want her to just go full 360?
Yeah, I think it's funny. Man, I love that sprite of Phoenix just leaning against the counter.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Big man on campus.
Yeah.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet, the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow. This is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait?
Yes.
Yes.
Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer?
Wabble, wabble, wabble. Ooh, boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, whoa,
here he
whoa.
is.
Oh, all right.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir. I am Officer Meekin, sir. My occupation is that would be murderer, sir.
So you're telling me...
So you're telling us that you're a...
professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it.
What?
I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You gotta believe me, sir.
Actually, what we'd let...
Sir, I'm what you like to call a part of a younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir! Officer Meekins,
Yes, sir.
give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm a part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
I could.
If
No, I mean,
that's a challenge, I could.
I guess no, I can't fault him for a lack. I suppose that's true. He's enthusiastic.
Oh, yes, I suppose.
To a fault.
You can fault him for an abundance.
Oh, an abundance of it, you know. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed to the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
Killed him and then passed out. When he woke up, no body. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
What others before they do one to you? That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
What I need here is more info to work with.
He just kind of was like, I did it. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't really any sort of...
It wasn't.
There wasn't a lot of details.
It wasn't nothing.
He was just like, I did it. Hold it. So you did it?
Mr. Meekins, you work at the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought.
Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge. Sorry. I'm really tired. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir.
Woo!
I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
I see. Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, So that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
There it is! I found it! This is the one right here.
Could you please read us
Yes, sir, it's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
I see, huh? But the number 4989596 is shown being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the blue badger to the evidence room. The second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir. That's when I spotted the man on the security screen.
Haha. Yeah, all of the blanks are filled.
So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir, a knife!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I did it.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I killed him. I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir.
Wow.
The man let his guard out for just this, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun around and I performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
See. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then, the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir!
Wow.
After that, I passed out until another officer met me.
Wow.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that I was unconscious?
He has a point.
No offense! But you sound so dumb right now!
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
That's so funny. I feel like, that's like the most relatable thing Megan's has done so far. Is no offense, but like he's been just like riddled with anxiety this whole time. But the one moment that someone asks him something that he feels is out of turn, he's like, okay.
Now that's a step too far. Now,
I have boundaries!
but they are past being accused of murder.
Yeah. No, that they're not. Then they're not past admitting to.
He was
a
like,
murder,
I
that
could
they don't-
kill.
They're like gaslit into believing that it was them.
Basically.
Okay.
He hit me right in the head, too! I woke up crying tears of pain!
Oh, that's nice.
What?
Not listening. I mean,
nice.
it's nice that you recovered, that is.
He just is like in his head going, this guy's so annoying.
He's like, that's nice. I mean...
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission.
Your mission.
Yes, sir. The blue badger, sir.
Of course.
I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, he's already damaged.
Well, we can all rest easy now. Well, we can all rest
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
Ooh, a VHS.
From Chief Gant.
The chief?
Delivered it.
What is that? A videotape? Now,
Judge.
it's hard to tell here if this is new technology to him or old technology.
Maybe he's being funny. He's like,
Oh,
well, I'm just too young. What's this?
yeah.
He's like, well, I'm a Gen Zer.
Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera.
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape and was told it had been mistakenly erased.
My goodness.
Why is he being sabotaged? Hi, Pillbug. That's quite a mistake. Thanks for getting first.
Yeah.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Let's watch that videotape.
Show us the...
Oh.
Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Okay.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
Oh, spoilers. That's okay. That's okay. What are you looking for?
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? I was just gonna look up the walkthrough so that I could keep an eye on where we were.
I can just do that for you right here real quick.
Okay. I just like to know how far along in the chapter I am for, like, my brain.
Okay, have a nice night, Pillbug. Thanks for stopping by. Oh,
Thanks for popping in.
Hello, future Pillbug watching the VOD.
Ooh, hello. Wow, goodbye, hello.
Yeah, that's how you do it. I've been there. Okay, so we have this up for you. All right.
Okay, a video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
A real murder video?
There's the guy. Doobie doobie scoop scoop scoopy boopy poopy poppy pop. A man.
The scary video. Right, this is the scary video.
It
I was
is,
like,
kinda
why
scary.
is there... I knew that there was a scary video with a blue badger in it, but I couldn't remember, like, what it was. Oh my god.
Could be anybody.
That could be anyone. There's Meekins.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Please kill my... Oh, my God.
This is so funny looking. They look like little dolls.
Yeah. Wow.
Good night, Meekins. Oh, poor guy. And
Man, so...
huh.
Yeah, me too. Me too, Phoenix. Me too, Edgeworth. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wiggling piece of plywood?
Oh, sir. Well, as a pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue here, sir!
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Yes. Well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room and some sort of, activity. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir.
Mystery Man.
His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that that other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do so. That locker he opened his unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir, so it must be him. Nobody else could have unlocked it.
I feel like there's a specific character who that voice is reminding me of, but I also can't think of who they are off the top of my head.
Is it like a Muppet?
I think it's a Muppet. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
And they taste good on bagels.
Sorry.
Thinking about something else.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start.
That was delivered like you were doing a talking head.
Oh my god, that's how I would. That was what I was doing in my head.
Well, you nailed it.
Thank you.
Really did.
Thank you. Thank
We'll
you.
begin your
Thank
cross-examination.
you. I'm going into it.
Hold it!
Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Who you murdered?
Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen a man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter.
The latter, but you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. Oh, I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people and talking to them, you know?
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him. I'd bet my badge on it.
There's no question. There's no question, he says.
But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having been seen or not seen it.
Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or...
Meekins!
Ah!
Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir. But don't forget to hit the bell button.
Be notified whenever I post a subpar video.
Yeah.
You claimed the man you brandished a knife at. The man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
Oh, I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective...
Hey!
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
Oh, no, sir. I tried all kinds of methods in the past. Oh, they only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried.
Yeah. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to its registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Well, exactly my point, sir. And this, too.
Locker if you open is unquestionably.
It's unquestionably.
How do you know that information?
Well, I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know.
People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed.
Oh.
They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
My romantic troubles. For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. Fingerprint.
Must be a...
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video, the man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do! After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock, and it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. And my unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem, security firm? Problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in... What happened?
Weird noise. You guys okay?
Jimmy poof.
Oh, kitties, are you scared?
Jimmy.
Hey, what happened?
Jimmy. Let me check.
One sec.
Okay.
He's okay. Okay. I love that Edgeworth basically was just like, unless there's something wrong with the videotape, there's something wrong with the videotape.
Unless Phoenix, maybe you want to chime in here.
Say something's wrong.
Yeah, there's something that seems kind of weird and strange.
Strange?
This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman.
What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
Show me. He would want me to point it out. He would.
He would want me to show him.
You would. You little skank. You want me to explain it to you? You know.
You know. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. Proposal. Ooh. I will now play the security tape.
This is when like the flirtation of their court cases really begins, though. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's not. It's more like a are we friends or are we
What are
enemies
we?
vibe
Yeah.
in all of the cases before this. But this is the one where it's like we're fully friends.
Yeah.
But like, ooh. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
He's having to be taught how to use a VCR.
Yeah.
Oh, please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. I don't like looking at myself.
I hate being secure.
I'm insecure.
How did this guy ever become a police officer?
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. So where is the contradiction that indicates this man might not be Drew Gooden?
Drew Gooden? Oh.
Bruce Goodman.
Okay, so I know that in the end there the thingy is in Detective Gumshoe's locker or something. Because isn't one of the ones here Detective Gumshoe's?
And there's a, like,
There's the
handprint.
cloth.
Yes.
So by the end of it, it's there. I don't know if that's the thing they want me to look at.
Isn't there... No, the handprint isn't there because it's behind the blue badger's head. Right?
I don't know.
We can fast forward if you want to, like, look for that thing at the end. La la la, something drops out.
Uh-huh.
There's Meepins.
Oh,
He's...
a battle. Okay.
And then... The cloth!
And then the cloth. Wait. But,
So we pause at the cloth?
you think? I don't know. I mean, that's my problem with it. I don't know if that's the problem.
We should look at his locker.
When something glove.
There is a glove that
Is
comes
that
out.
cool? Is that a thing that we want to be aware of? We did find a glove in our court record.
We did.
Oh, fuck, that's not... I mean, hopefully that's it. I didn't...
We.
The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be
That
this.
doesn't sound good. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
Blushes. The point?
What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman.
Right. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Whew! I almost walked right into the defense's trap.
Oh, I'll play some water arrest, sir!
Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Now what do I do? Play the video again. Very well. Let's try this again.
Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Says the one pointing his finger at us. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of.
I have to point out a problem. Okay, cool. So they're not punishing me for that one, which is cool.
Yeah, they're just like, so...
Okay. Okay, so
It's lit up.
that one. Oh. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
I missed. Would be this?
Hold on a second! I didn't use my eye drops! Well, I don't get it.
Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medicine?
Don't look at me with those bleary eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should think this through again.
Now what do I do? Play the video again. Play the video
Oh my
again.
god.
No.
Phoenix, like,
One more time.
this?
Someone gets hurt, he says.
Oh my god.
But I don't get hurt.
You're not getting hurt.
Are you okay?
Oh my god. But the locker's lit up
Okay.
before he even gets to it. And all the
So it's already open.
yeah. So the light. The light.
it?
Yeah,
Right there?
see right there.
That light.
Because none of the other ones are on.
Excuse me. The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be this. Officer Meekins!
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this.
Whoop.
When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experiences, that's the way I understand it, sir.
This very limited experience.
Yeah, suddenly he doesn't know nothing.
I don't know anything, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
It's a video.
This is technically a video, sir.
The lights on.
And song plays forever. And there he is.
Beep, boop. It's making me think of like an ice cream truck or something.
Yeah.
When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier.
And we can't do it any faster than this. He just, like, we're just all sitting around this little TV, watching it like this.
Yeah.
Rewind.
Still on. Here,
Hey.
notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit!
It's lit! Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Whoa, sorry, the victim was already... Hey! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know! It must have broken down! Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut.
Oh my god.
Oh well, I'm stupid. Oh, fuck me then, I guess. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation?
Yeah, what about you, Mr.
What about
Expert? Me, Your Honor.
Yes. Yes, you. Why wasn't the locker locked?
Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field either. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jammed the system sensors?
Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's got to be another clue somewhere in this footage.
It's the frickin' glove.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright...
Mr. Wright? It's definitely the glove, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They just stuffed the glove in there.
Whoa! Bye. Oh.
Oh.
Hey! There you are. Take that!
Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier.
So then remember when I did this one thing earlier? See, now
There's more to the video.
What's this? What's this? Hecke? Something white fell out of the locker. Cocaine?
Oh my god. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my... We can't be sure the item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted?
Well, now don't be gross. Phoenix says to the judge.
Judge blushing
Blushes.
a little. Insert.
Whoa.
Whoa. Oh.
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir.
2 out of 3.
Instead of the door closing,
It chokes me.
It chokes me.
But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator! But at the crime scene...
There just might have been something that fits the description.
But, sir, by insulator, do you mean...
I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? You know her. You love her. You know her.
She's the rubber glove, baby.
An insulator. Extremely thin, it says.
I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that's the victim's that was in the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident.
Ugh.
The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
Is this a confession?
Sir, it would appear so, sir.
Order! 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 So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir! Me, sir? Oh, I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Oh, of course, sir.
Is this a joke?
Is this a joke? Oh my god. Very well. Begin your testimony.
Well, there's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
I feel like that was like the same phrase over and over
Yeah, it was
again
just,
for that.
I totally spaced out, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was definitely like, we need you to also like be able to tell us why the fact that Bruce Goodman's ID card isn't correct. Sorry, I didn't read any of that.
Oh no, it's okay, I'm sorry, I clicked the button, I didn't mean, I was just like, blah, blah, blah.
I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. There, you see? Bruce Goodman. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference.
There's always standing up.
Now that I'm saying that.
Am I always in shock? There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let's move on to the cross-examination. Okay.
Okay, oh my god. There's one. So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you?
Yes, sir. Solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the feet for victory sign, sir.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. He's like, I don't know what this guy's gonna say.
Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. I remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time is my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone.
At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Please proceed with your testimony.
Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to.
Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman?
What's the matter?
According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here.
He's so like, okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that.
So it is, Your Honor.
He's trying to be unflappable.
Not that prosecutor again.
Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he's involved in the evidence.
Mom, is Amy Blue murderer?
Shh, don't stare at him.
You've got the wrong color, kid.
It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him.
Bad reputation. Bad reputation.
Okay. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
I'm confused.
What?
The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got.
Okay.
I'm not sure what obvious thing he's talking about right now. He's like, there's something so obvious. I can't believe Edgeworth missed it. It's so obvious. Is it the thing?
Half-written document dated...
Lost item report.
Oh. Did he... Oh, so maybe he lost his ID?
He could have lost his ID. Yeah, that's a possibility. The other thing that I can think of is the, Wait, where did we find it? It's found... Okay, it was found at the prosecutor's office crime scene, and if all of them only have one card each, why was his ID card there at the very same time?
Yeah,
his body
it was
found?
in the wrong area.
Yeah.
But do you think if I present the ID, that's gonna be the conversation that happens? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you think?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Right here, you think? Or had used his card.
At the time of his crime, it was on his dead body.
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir! I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
No. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I meant the other crime scene, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Edgeworth, Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
Lost item report? It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crimes. Yeah, that was on something.
Something.
Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right?
Yeah. I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean?
It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Order! 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 Does this prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense.
Yes?
Fuck you.
No.
Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo.
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victims lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What's he up to?
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
That is, well, I guess that's right.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
This isn't gonna end well.
Well, it seems you've finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Ah!
Okay. He's like, ah ha ha. So you agree with me?
No, I do no, please, no! I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana...
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Always object.
Wait and see what happens.
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Now tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
No, of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
Your silly little trap, Edgeworth. What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proved one thing and one thing only.
Only one thing?
The security video did not show the actual murder.
Blink, blink.
Wait for it. I've got a good zinger here. Keep waiting. I'm cooking. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be chance. This might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean...
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh? Whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright, this person whom you would have testimony, what is his or her or their name?
Right, Marshall.
Greg Marshall.
Officer Jake Marshall.
Why him?
I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. He shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Okay. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Subpoenaed.
Oh my god.
Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess.
Whee!
Play ball. Whee!
Dun, 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 dun.
Hi.
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 There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out.
Whoa.
I haven't figured anything out.
Lana, you're the one who knows everything.
Emma.
You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his best to protect you.
I don't recall ever asking for his protection.
How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Any sisterly bonding emotional moment.
Sorry. Oh, guess I am. I'll get back later.
Polite.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Oink. Oink.
You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around all while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey, I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh, you mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident?
But Lana, that's...
I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
All of them, right now.
Right now. Get reading.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
Miss Sky was a witness?
What? Joe Dark killings.
Solved 2 years ago.
Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what?
What?
Now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there. I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that...
That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings.
Lightning strike. The Joe Dark... No, Lana! That's over with! No!
Emma, wait! She ran away.
She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere.
Oh no.
Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Ah!
Bye.
Bye.
Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this let me try that again. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't just be a coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I better take a good look at this file.
Oh my god, that's so much to read. That's so much to read so quickly. He has like less than 20 minutes.
He's a smart boy. He can do it. I believe in him.
He skims it.
Also, he's a good skimmer. I can believe that about him.
Yeah.
I have to pee. But do you want to keep going or
Do you feel like you can keep going? Are you...
how long is the next chapter?
Yeah, let's take a quick little looky-loo before...
2, 3... Okay.
It probably...
I mean,
yeah.
you've been working hard all day, so that's my only concern for you is I want you to have plenty of time to relax.
I'd be fine with continuing. I'd be fine with continuing.
Okay.
You want to take like
I need a break.
take a 5, be back at 7:10.
Sure.
That sounds good to me. All right, we will be right back, every pony.
Welcome back.
Oh, thanks for resubbing with Prime.
Wahoo, wahoo, wahoo.
Yay! Hope you're having a good night. We're just in the middle of this case.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming back from a recess. We played tetherball and hopscotch.
Yep.
And also, we're calling Jake Marshall to the stand. Well, I'll let the judge tell you what's going on, actually. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
Emma didn't come back. She was having a panic attack.
Yeah. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. We're doing pretty okay. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get
Oh,
it.
don't belittle his job.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman.
As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howl
not
of
this.
wind calling it out.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall.
I've often
Your
heard
Honor.
the wind go, Jake.
It's a very natural sound for the wind to make, I'm sure.
Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way. What?
Well, Jake Marshall is saying you can hear the wind say his name, and then Edgeworth said his name. So Phoenix is like, ha, you're the wind.
He's like the wind.
Yeah.
I love you. I mean, what? Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place.
Yes.
Is this correct?
According to the papers, partner.
What do you mean?
A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up.
Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. I'm tired of this man. Please share with us the testimony of the day of the crime that you have. In plain old English.
Damn.
Wow.
I am speaking in plain old English.
And this is as plain and old as it
That's
gets.
about plain and old as it gets. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard.
That Bellworn Orchard.
They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style.
I did not want to do that.
Besides, room's protected by 2 security systems anyway.
The self-report
Letting the
here.
AI take over.
If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon at the time it went down.
Wait, so you were drinking on the job?
You were not there on the job?
I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the train.
No.
No, we have a lot to talk
There's
about.
a lot to discuss in that already. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems?
I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those.
Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence lockers?
Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those?
He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or following orders.
It's really cool to have that in a security guard.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor?
His just happened to be his job. This one seems like trouble.
I don't like him.
Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Hope. Oh, yeah.
How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room?
I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred the recordings.
You interred them?
Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life.
Okay.
He was
My time wasted.
really didn't like that job.
No, he hated that job.
This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't gonna do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? This is why he's like totally obsessed with Red Dead Redemption right now.
Oh my god, yeah, he's playing that instead of watching the cameras.
Yeah, and like excessively drinking too.
Yeah.
You keep seeing him pull that flask.
I know it's not
Girl.
water.
Girl, you know it's not water. Okay, but you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right?
Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
No desperado I know lets rules get in his way.
No desperados I know join the police force.
So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime,
Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day.
So he didn't clock in?
No. He never goes into the evidence room.
He
He's
doesn't
always
go
at the
in,
station.
he's at the station. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that?
Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks.
How does this guy avoid being fired?
Yeah, because he's supposed to go in there 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Besides,
Sad.
You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct?
Yeah.
of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. Phew.
And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking.
Locking mechanism. Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works.
Oh.
That's quite incredible.
That's what I was thinking. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too.
At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? I was not at work.
What were you doing in a place like that?
I was eating spaghetti. Not even angel steak lunches can beat that parlor's Mongolian Scipio pasta.
He's just bad at pronouncing it.
Yeah. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles?
Not all desperados eat tacos, partner.
What, you think I was eating tacos? That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson.
Shoot, no.
No?
That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says,
Did you not want to raise this year?
I love you, Phoenix. No, but I'm going to say I hate you.
out of ammo, Officer Marshall?
That's right, partner, or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, you'd better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west to the sunset.
His truck. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything.
Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that.
And he has recently started identifying as a Texan.
Yeah, he doesn't come from Texas, but apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I'd best keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante.
Okay. Up the ante. What do you think,
He's
so
being
what was
very
the
poker
special-
terminology.
Yeah,
Yeah?
for sure. Poker terminology. He's like, I don't know. Okay, so we know that we saw his fingerprints. And that was the thing, we were like, this is why we want you here. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So we want to basically be like, you were there.
Yeah. And I know you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so these were the statements where he was saying that he was like definitely not there. So we need to be like, baby.
Your name was in there, so what's the story?
Marshall's fingerprints.
Yar.
Objection.
Officer Marshall. Doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this.
Whoa. That's what he's also thinking. He's like, whoa.
You got weird.
Whoa, your energy's like wild right now.
After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint.
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there.
No, not like that. Like it was a bloody handprint.
I only wish it were, officer.
Whoa.
But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood!
Boom! Witness! What's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene?
The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation then? Officer Marshall? Pardon me. About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your bloody fingerprints
Ew.
found at the scene of the crime. I know he didn't say it, but I did have to say it again.
Ew.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room.
Even though I haven't been there in weeks?
One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint.
That's a stupid excuse. That's a stupid ass excuse. That's
It
dumb.
just happened.
That's dumb.
It just
that I would stop the entire trial. I would be like,
So
that's
your
dumb.
hand touched.
I'd be like, that's dumb. And if any person in this room believes that, they're dumb.
Exactly in that spot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly, perfectly.
Yeah.
Please.
Please.
Don't piss me off right now. Please don't piss me off. Okay, my choice.
You didn't read that
Blood,
one.
well, we talked about it at length. Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
See? See?
I had nothing to do with it.
See? The witness's explanation appears so heckin' valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner.
Yeah.
Sure.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
Now's my chance.
Now's my chance.
It's only natural for my
That's because,
fingerprints.
how did you put it? You pay your respects once a month?
Yeah.
That's right. And one more thing. That locker happens to be mine.
What? What do you mean?
That wasn't me what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. Locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams.
I see.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
Apparently it hasn't been your locker for 2 years. Or
Yeah.
it shouldn't be your locker if you're not a detective there anymore. Like, that's weird. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming.
Phoenix is like, okay, we have
He
to
must have been
believe that.
using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it.
Oh. He just didn't know how the thing worked.
That's weird.
And so he was like, I don't know about that.
So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery.
Please explain.
My locker's covered with my fingerprints. Just so happened. I feel like that's so stupid. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. Chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Bloodstained fingerprint completely unrelated. Unrelated? There's different night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal.
Oh my god, that is an auditory thing.
One's got no breakfast, and the other's a type of murder.
He is right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different.
I don't see what homonyms have to do with this.
I don't.
I really don't. I really fail to see what homonyms have to do with this. Or you know the murderer is wearing gloves.
How do you know that?
That's what I said. That's what I said. I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I'll keep up on the reports.
There was a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too.
So that would mean the murderer, wearing gloves, happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
Hi, Renee!
Hi, Renee! Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Good to see you. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and there's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise.
We're doing good. We're having a...
What?
What?
What? No, I was listening.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. We're having a night.
We're having a night. It is a night. That's so true.
We're doing an investigation. No, this isn't an investigation. This is a trial. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad. So, okay, what actually we learned is that he did leave that bloody handprint.
Mm-hmm.
And his fingerprints were all over the locker. And he was right. Because, no, but he would have needed to take his glove off to open his locker after the crime, right?
Yes.
This music intensely gets louder, gets louder.
Yes. Yes.
We'll just press this guy. Hold it.
Hold it. What? I actually think that I've lost the plot a little bit. I'm so turned around about what we're talking about that I'm like, what are we talking about?
Everything feels really non-specific to you between Marshall and Phoenix.
What do you mean by that? You won't tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? I didn't say that, but if so, that video's the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots.
Blind spots?
Places you can't see.
Oh!
Camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. It's really bad security.
It really is.
If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Yes. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
I mean,
that's pretty... Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
Okay. I'm gonna put a gun to my head, and I suppose I'll try. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright,
Careful.
or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let's have another look at the video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
I forgot that a big part of why this case really annoys me is this goddamn video.
I only remembered this video the moment they were like, oh, and remember the video? And then
I was like, no.
It felt like time stood still for a second.
I feel like my brain wants to forget it. Just get traumatized by it. Okay, so what am I supposed to do? What am I looking for?
You're talking about the blind spots and how there's blind spots. And how you could leave the room without getting caught.
But how do... I mean, it's clear. What do they mean? Is this my time to present the thing in Gumshoe's, or not? It's not Gumshoe's locker, but the
thing in Jake.
cloth.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, like,
The
how
cloth.
could it not be?
Right.
It has to be that. The thing that you wanted to talk about from the beginning. Because you saw this and were like, what's that?
What's that?
Isn't that weird? They were like, well, that's not what we want to talk about right now.
Bringing our attention back, circling back to the security camera, is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
Damn.
Days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Yeah.
Yes.
Very well.
Did those count?
You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
He's a poet.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video.
Phoenix knows 8 words. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe.
Now then, let's rewind the video a little bit. I wish it would go so much faster when it does this. This is so slow.
It needs to go so much faster than this.
I'm dying. It's not there!
Whoa! The white cloth! It's gone! What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshall?
When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of that crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away.
Order! Order! It would seem that...
Water horses, sorry, partner. I was drinking some water.
Drowning!
But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open?
So what?
That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
Yeah, so
Yes,
what? Edgeworth is...
Edgeworth and Phoenix look at each other like, oh god, who's gonna tell him?
I love Edgeworth's slow blink
Man,
of anger.
the murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine.
Who's gonna tell him?
Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? I got him. Got him. This guy isn't just playing dumb.
He's
just dumb. He really doesn't know.
Oh no.
Oh, Jake. I'm about to embarrass you so hard right now. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Wait, no. Looks at my badge.
I believe in myself. You say before picking your decisive evidence.
Yeah. Only the assigned detective Prince can unlock it, right?
Yeah.
Everything else gotta be it. A fingerprint sensor?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that this
We
whole
talked
time.
about, yeah, but he wasn't there for that. Yeah. We were talking about it with Meekins.
You're right.
Yeah, he missed that.
He was drinking.
Probably.
Before this.
Yeah, and he's drunk.
He's
so
drunk
if there
right now.
was any reference to it, he probably doesn't recall. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say? In 8 words or less. Hunty. In 8 words or less, Hunty.
Sipping on that true tea, Hunty. I live.
I only got one word for you, partner. No!
We
What
got
was
him.
that?
We got him.
Order! 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 Witness! Explain yourself!
This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard.
I assure you, this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Oh my god. Is that leather?
I think it's jerky.
Ole! Please answer the question.
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's all right. That's all right, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here.
We can?
Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in that evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
You thought he was jumping on tree bark?
I mean, hey,
It kind of looks like that.
Could be anything.
Could be. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. It seems Mr. Wright knows.
That's right. The only possible conclusion.
Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? He was the...
I don't know. I mean, here, right? Like, somewhere
No,
around here,
no, at the time of the crime, he was the victim. Because he was dressed as Bruce Goodman.
Right. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes.
Officer Marshall was standing right here.
There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, but...
No, he was shaking his head. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Hey. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd known for sure.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it?
Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it.
The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card.
Oh, I get it.
If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
That did not actually have anything to do with anything that I did.
Circumstantial evidence. He's still denying it.
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim.
I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complain.
Well, now this is twice.
Now it's twice.
So it's a complaint now.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim?
Judge, he wants some. He's like, show me, please. Give me a reason.
Just give me a
Well,
reason.
who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that.
What?
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Actively drinking.
This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Fuck! God!
Shit!
Damn it!
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out.
If it's one karma, save it.
When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
Who told you that?
Wasn't that Mia?
The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's more reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet, there's no reason. Excuse me. Yet he did it, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker.
According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason.
I bet it's the jacket.
Yeah, like,
It's a white cloth.
yeah.
So it's a white jacket.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth?
Perhaps the video is the key to all of the unanswered questions.
Perhaps, maybe we should watch that again.
I don't have any moments. This video is my only shot.
Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why
Why they had to do that. Why they had
Why? Why? Because it got bloody.
Okay, but what's the thing that I would present?
His pause at, the blood on his shoulder. Do you remember that part of the video?
Oh, I'll pay attention.
Because it would have his blood on it, so...
Or like when he's walking by later.
Yeah, now.
Okay. Skadoosh.
Take that. Take that.
For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what to what end yet.
Yeah.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat.
It's a bloody white coat! It's a bloody white coat! You couldn't just walk out like that in this season. So you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad. partner.
Oh, partner. Are they dating?
He said it in quotation
Yeah.
marks, so I don't know.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all. Hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth.
No.
I've never been happy.
I've never.
No, thanks for asking. For once.
For one, somebody asks.
Haven't been.
No.
2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now. Now, would we?
Shut up. What are you talking
Officer
about?
Marshall, I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't care. I just want you to tell the court what you did. All of it.
All right. Seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas that wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
There wasn't any murder at 5:15.
Nope.
But my question that I wanna state is, then why was there a glove in Bruce Goodman's locker like that? Did somebody else put it there? If Marshall
something's
doesn't
going
know
on.
about it?
Something's going on.
Do. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
It was way too much blood for such a small donation.
Calling it a donation, it's funny.
Yeah. When you say it, you mean
Do you even have to ask, partner?
the SL9 incident.
Oh no, Edward's eating an animal cracker.
Oh no, he was snacking.
Oh no, he was snacking.
Oh.
Put those animal crackers away, you silly guy. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely it was going to completely end with that transferal that day.
Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over.
But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When the case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through all the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine.
But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it?
That day was my last chance. That's why.
Why he stole his ID and dressed like her.
Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card?
I stole that the morning of the incident.
So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report.
I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot.
The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean, the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
But he could, because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
I was.
They're on my wavelength.
You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off?
Kill.
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Damn kid.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID? I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
When did Edgeworth get so much influence?
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. Me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
I don't know what to say.
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and... did things.
So you did your research beforehand?
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours.
Oh gosh! I'm sorry. Ooh.
If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, Jig would have been up. Opened my locker and stashed it in there.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time?
Dead.
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day,
No murder.
there was not any murder.
But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Why not?
When I opened the locker, evidence was already gone.
What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence.
I feel like I was just screaming Judge's line. I'm sorry about
That's
that.
okay. Is that we're all shocked?
I felt like I was screaming.
Yeah, man, it's okay. Hey, sometimes you deliver a line with chutzpah. I do it too. I feel like maybe we have the evidence. We should read this.
Oh my god, we never read it.
Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil
It's
Marshall.
probably just Rachel.
Neil Marshall was a victim. Head
Yes.
prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses, Lana and Emma. Witnesses.
Okay.
Executive investigators, Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Head investigator, Bruce Goodman. Investigators, Drake Marshall and Angel Starr. Okay. Cool. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing?
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Like I said, this ain't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
Hi.
Why?
Why?
But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out.
I know something happened, though. I don't know what it is, but I know it happened.
Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take another look at the files. I did look at the files. So on that last thing, that's gotta be the last thing. I know why. I know why. I know why. Because your brother was involved. Because your brother was killed. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident.
Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
Cactus juice.
I have the SL9 incident file right here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard the name. 2 years ago,
Oh, he was a cowpoke too.
he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
What? A prosecutor?
He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right, he was killed, and the case fell into your hands.
But why is his relation to you? But what's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. Group of detectives I was part of worked under him. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Joe Dark.
Joe Dark.
Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed.
Sad.
Dang.
He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark.
He was
I
invincible.
knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
Aw. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me!
Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened.
No.
Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance. It's gotta be more than just that.
So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which, in turn, means only one person could have committed the crime: Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
No, but wait. A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But...
There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
Seems to me This boy's got a draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved. No doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Starr is completely uncontestable. If you have a reason to if you have a response, make it a single word or less. Man, the bow. I rest my case.
No!
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize. That would end up proving Lana guilty.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Ah! Your Honor, wait!
Emma!
The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, Wright?
Mr. Wright? Are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor? Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Oh, generosity.
Oh, I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So did you find something?
No. No!
I have nothing.
Sorry. I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh, boy.
Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day.
Yes, Your Honor. If I've ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Yeah, object.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
Oh, you haven't even seen grasping. I'll show you grasping.
I'll show you grasping. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them?
Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time.
No.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
I'm definitely not trying to. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use.
The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans?
I mean, he's not there.
He's not there.
Blue Badger not written there.
What about that piece of plywood?
The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof.
Explain yourself, Mr. Wright.
Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here.
So,
watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. He's big. Well,
Well, what?
He went gasp.
Gasp!
That's right. So long as the Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker.
Bam, shot.
What?
So that means, just what exactly does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker.
Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? Mm-hmm. After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in?
Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera.
The stabbing.
Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Yeah. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found in the locker.
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur?
To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
That's right. The blood mark on the locker proves this.
Very well. Then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented.
Proof that shows when the murder took place. I already know. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that.
Now then, will the defense please present its evidence?
Absolutely. What shows when the first crime took place? Easy.
What shows when the first time took place? Oh, the boss?
No.
No.
It's at 4:20.
When 77777.
Yeah, it would have had to be then.
Oh.
Because that's the
okay.
only other time someone came
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing we don't know about.
Yeah.
If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card. Oh, the ID card record.
Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here. Oh,
Let's see here. 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth! Just what have you done?
I never would have figured you would have had the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer.
I would have just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room.
Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777.
Who is Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP! Find out whose ID number is 7777777. That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card, at least at present.
What? Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher.
As he is 10 years older than we are. He's like 9 years older than we are. In the game, he's about our age, actually.
Someone who is so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
But that's ridiculous. Just how?
I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright.
Oh.
There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. In an official charge, if an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
That's what the prosecutor.
Whoa, some shots fired. Drag
I
him.
take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes.
No, not to you. To her, defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana.
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident.
The SL9 incident?
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Lana?
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look at me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did?
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana...
Even if it involved forging evidence.
Everyone blinks. Blink, blink.
I mean, she just admitted to a crime.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Damn. No. No!
Damn, oh, so, like, and that's basically admitting that Edgeworth is a fraud, too.
Yeah, and what he's been trying to avoid. Lana's remarks caused... Oh, that's Phoenix.
Such a stir that the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
Oh, because everyone was like, oh, yeah.
Everybody's, like, completely outraged.
Yeah. Yeah.
It basically opens up this whole old case all over again.
Opens up the old case. It makes Edgeworth look bad. It makes everyone who worked on that case
makes
look
our
bad.
client look bad.
Makes our client look bad. Maybe our client did it. Now this girl's traumatized.
Yeah, Emma's probably crying.
Emma's crying.
Well,
We hardly know her. We'll
have to leave it to the investigation next week.
Yeah, we'll have to see who we find next time. Next Monday. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much for joining us, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much. It was so much fun, as always, as usual.
Yes, had a great, great, great time. And we'll see you on Wednesday for more Pokemon if you care to join us. Yeah, we'll see you then.
Bye!
Bye! Good night.
Bye!